Actually, I hear them because every time they want to log in, I actually hear some sound of it. Okay, in the first hour, we already talked about the test and we already talked about chapter one briefly, and you know the structure of chapter one. And now we go to chapter seven, all right, take a look at that. Now, compared to chapter one there, chapter seven is actually much more fragmented, you can put it that way. 嗱，我哋第一個鐘頭咧已經咧就係講咗一啲 test 關於 test 嘅一啲嘅運作情況啦，跟住咧我哋亦都講咗第一課嗰個架構係點啦，OK，咁變咗你知道第一課係大約係關於啲乜嘢嘅事項咧，咁你就只要即係睇翻啲細節咧，咁你第一課就應該會掌握得比較好啲嘅。而家我哋咧就會講下第七課，第七課同第一課咧就唔係咁一樣嘅，因為佢比較散收啲嘅嚇，所以如果要將佢統一同埋歸納起上嚟咧，就係比較困難。嗱，我哋讀書咧通常要將啲嘢歸納統一做一啲主題，咁我哋先至會記憶得耐啲，同埋我哋要記到12月考試噶嘛，所以我哋一定要諗啲計仔咧。令到自己可以記啲嘢記得耐啲嘅。Alright, you have to think about a way to get yourself remember something longer. Alright, so if anything that appears to you with some structure, alright, with some themes there, that's gonna be easier for you to remember them in a longer period of time. Alright, that's why I give you the structure of chapter one. Alright, and hope that you can fill in the structure and then you can remember chapter one better. Now for chapter 7 here is a connected world. In other words, this one actually is a chapter of internet. 嗱，呢個咧叫連接嘅世界啦，第七課嚇，其實佢係咩嚟嘅咧？佢係 internet 嚟嘅。And in this chapter here, you will have a lot of time learn about internet. What is internet? All right, and then you also have a lot of time learn about you have sometimes sorry learn about intranet and extranet. All right, that's the two main themes if you want me to put. Alright, this is the two main theme of chapter seven。第七課嘅最大嘅主題其實得兩個啫，就係互聯網及內聯網 and 外互聯網嚇。就算譯做中文都非常之翹口慘手嘅。OK，咁互聯網我哋成日都聽過啦，內聯網及外互聯網係咩呢？其實就係指用互聯網嘅技術去到公司自己用，當自己公司網絡咁樣溝通，或者你間公司同另一間公司咧就好似做咗好朋友咁樣，大家互相溝通，咁啊外互聯就係咁嘅情況啦。OK。Alright, so let's take a look. In internet here, first we talk about some history of internet. So they got some history that we talk about here. The history of internet would have a lot of terms like, okay, it starts from ARPANET, or that's some of the thing, okay. It also tells you some of the definition and networks of network, things like that, all right. It also tells you that internet is actually backbone with fiber optics, all right. Those are all of the details, all right, history and background info, all right. Background, we call it background info, all right. Background information of internet，咁咧佢會俾一啲咧少少歷史啊，同埋啲 background 嘢嘅嚇，關於 internet 首先，and then it would have a lot of alright internet services introducing you，跟住咧有一大抽嘅 internet services 咧介紹俾你喎，alright internet services。Internet services include, if you turn to the pages here, all right, let's turn to the pages later here. You see a lot of them, right? We have actually many internet services. World Wide Web is one of the services on the internet, actually. And then we have email, all right? News group. And then discussion group. And then instant messaging. And then the last one, messaging, sorry. And then internet telephony. All right. I use some short form here. Okay. Internet telephony. 咁呢啲我哋都叫互聯網服務嘅嚇。什麼是互聯網服務咧？即係話咧，你有得通咗網絡之後咧，你會用嚟令你個通咗網絡咧比較簡化嘅一啲嘅 一啲嘅設施咁如果你唔明白咧，就諗下我屋企咧就有，譬如你平時睇 YouTube 噶嘛。咁你可能上網你就打個網址去 YouTube，咁你就自己睇得好過癮啦。但係你阿爸阿媽可能又或者你屋企有啲阿公公婆婆好鬼老嗰啲咧，佢就唔慣喺個網頁度睇電視噶嘛，佢一定要睇個電視噶嘛。咁你可能要整個機頂盒俾佢撳咧，咁佢就撳 YouTube 喎，將個 YouTube 播喺個電視機度，咁佢就覺得好開心啦。咁嗰個機頂盒就係服務啦。OK。Just like you have a grandpa, grandmother, they used to see the traditional TV and they cannot use internet basically. And if you want to help them use internet, you will let internet just like they're watching TV and give them a few buttons to click on, just like they are clicking the TV button, and they will be very happy about it. So the TV button, all right, made from internet for your grandpa or grandma to use is what we call services, all right? So internet services is actually some of the way we use to ease our using of internet。所以 internet service 咧，其實就係一啲方法，有啲設施，令我哋咧用個互聯網用得比較上咧就係方便啊，同埋咧就係簡易一啲啦嚇。OK，如果你明白頭先即係公公婆婆睇電視嗰個例子，OK。好啦，咁我哋翻去上邊啦。咁我哋其實呢度仲會講啲 trend of internet 嘅嚇，一間我哋先接補落去。OK。咁所以呢個咧，呢課第一課咧就會講一啲背景嚇，嗰啲背景咧就一啲 hard facts 嚟嘅嚇。然後咧我哋咧會見到啦，a lot of the time is focused on World Wide Web，alright？咁就我哋會見到咧，internet 最大嘅服務咧其實係 World Wide Web 喎，所以好多時間我哋都講 World Wide Web 嘅，OK？So World Wide Web is a very important service. So after studying this chapter, you should really know World Wide Web quite well because this is nearly the surface that engulf the other surfaces right now we see in the world。因為 World Wide Web 變成一個咧非常之勁嘅 surface 咧，食晒其他譬如 email 啊、news group 啊、discussion 啊、instant messaging 甚至乎 telephony 嗰啲服務嘅噃。OK，嗱，all right, remember when we say the World Wide Web is engulfing, all right, engulfing email, news group, discussion group, instant messaging, it doesn't mean that email disappear. It just appears in the World Wide Web format. Remember，當我哋就話咧嗰啲 World Wide Web 食晒其他服務咧，唔係話其他服務消失咗，請你唔好誤解啊！電郵服務仍然繼續存在於世上，不過咧佢唔係以前個電郵傳統形態出現，傳統形態就係要裝機嗰隻，係變成咗網頁形態，變成咗 World Wide Web 嘅狀態，所以佢食咗佢嘅意思咧，即係話將佢變咗自己一部分咋，唔係話佢冇咗喎嚇。寫你要記住啊，唔係話呢個世界上就冇咗 email 啦。No，email still exists, but is now appear as web. Right, so that's something you have to know. Why web is so important? Because web have a feature, so you have to learn about the features of web. All right. Right. The features of web is hypermedia, hypertext. That means all things linked together, and you can use a lot of different way to express information, such like audio, image, text. All right. 我哋話咧，嗰個 World Wide Web 咧就係好特色嘅，因為咧佢咧就會將啲嘢連結嘅，同埋咧佢會用咧唔同嘅媒體去表達佢自己啊，例如聲音啦、圖像啦、影像去表達佢，所以佢好勁咯，係咪？咁啊，我哋好中意用佢咯，好多姿多彩，因為佢好正嘅，刺激我哋觀感啊嘛，係咪？Now, another things we have to know about internet is now this is important, is the server, all right, and client concept。server 同埋 client 嘅 concept 咧係一個非常之重要嘅概念啊喺 network 上邊。何謂 server 咧？server, if you take a look at here, is actually a computer that stores something, let you to tick. That's a server, right? And if you let them to take web pages from your computer, that's a web server. If you let them take email from your computer, that's an email server. If you let them take application, or maybe it's an application form, right? Maybe it's an add drop form from there, is an application server. 咩叫伺服器咧？伺服器就係一個電腦，佢可以俾你喺上面拎嘢嘅，即係佢會儲啲嘢俾你拎嘅喎，咁佢就係一個伺服器啦。嗱，如果佢可以俾你喺度拎網頁嘅，咁佢叫做網頁伺服器。如果係俾你拎電郵嘅，佢叫電郵伺服器。如果喺嗰度俾你拎譬如一個申請表，譬如咧俾你做 AirDrop 嘅，咁佢嗰個叫做應用程式嘅伺服器。所以視乎你俾佢拎乜嘢，OK？ And more often than not, server can allow two-person or more alright，using it at one time。server 通常咧就俾兩個人或者以上嘅人同時使用佢嘅。Client is the taker, is the one who requesting data. Alright, client is the one requesting document. It can be video document, audio document, textual document, image document。client 咧就係攞嘢嘅人，OK，攞嘢嘅人就係 client 啦，OK，咁每一時間咧得一個人用嘅，every time just one people using it, that's a client. Now sometimes your mobile phone can be a server as well. If your friend go out of data and you open a hotspot for him or her to go online and you go online at the same time, then your mobile phone is a server。有時咧，其實我哋架機咧都會變 server 㗎。譬如你個同學咧就啱啱用晒啲 data，你就開心 share 開咗個 hotspot 俾佢一齊上網，即係用即係借啲 data 佢用，跟住自己又上埋網喎。咁你嗰陣時你個電話咧開咗 hotspot 嘅情況咧，你個電話其實係個 server 嚟㗎都。OK。All right, now, and we also have to learn about the domain system or naming system of Internet naming system。Internet 嘅命名咧，我哋都要知㗎，喺度好多生字嘅又係啊。例如咩叫做 IP？Alright, IP is actually the evidence of you got yourself internet connected。IP 咧就係話你話俾人聽你上咗網啊，咁就係因為你有 IP 咯。你冇 IP 就冇上網啦，所以呢個係你連咗線嘅證據嚟嘅。But IT is very difficult to remember, so you have to use an English name to represent them, and that's the idea of domain names。但 IP 好鬼死難記噶嘛嚇，咁我哋記唔到佢嘅，所以我哋咧整個英文名獨特嘅英文名記下佢，咁我哋叫嗰隻咧叫域名啦 ，domain name。轉換啲域名同埋 IP 咧就係叫域名系統啦。DNS system is to convert IPI and domain name, alright? In a table so you can easily access them, alright, without much difficulty because they translate them for you。即係啲 domain name 系統咧就將 IP 同埋啲名 map 埋一齊啦，咁變咗我哋咧好容易揾到嗰啲名係乜嘢啦。Now to find something on the internet, you have to use URL. Alright, so one of the things about World Wide Web here is important for you is you have to learn about top-level domain. Alright, that's a features of World Wide Web that it allows you to tell the nature of the website. Alright, and also some of the generic website here. Alright, extension we have to get ourselves familiar with. Alright, and also this one in every World Wide Web pages here, you can break down into different component, right? That's also some part of it is Internet protocol, right? 咁我哋咧就呢度幾版嘢咧，其實係咩咧？都係屬於 World Wide Web 嘅喎。World Web 咧佢咧就係一個重要嘅服務啊。通常我哋而家幾乎將 World Wide Web 代表咗互聯網啊，但係 World Wide Web 同互聯網有啲分別嘅，因為互聯網咧只係話你通咗線攞咗個 number 啫，呢個叫互聯網咗。但係你 World Wide Web 咗咧，你就可以睇到啲即係動畫啊、音樂啊嗰啲，即係好多享受噶嘛你嚇。咁所以 World Wide Web 系統入邊咧有好多分類嘅，譬如我哋睇一個叫 TLD 咧，就知道咧佢屬於咩性質嘅啊。譬如佢喺邊度嚟啊，同埋咩公司係咪？跟住咧，你亦都可以睇到個 World Wide Web 嘅網址咧，你就會知道佢喺邊度啦。譬如呢個網址嚇，你知道佢喺邊度啦，佢喺呢個。SCUB edu 呢個係一個網，一個係一個機嚟嘅，一個 IP 嚟嘅，IP 變咗嘅 domain name 嚟嘅。跟住邊一個 folder 啦，directory 就係一個 folder，邊一個文件夾啦，邊個檔案你睇緊。OK。Now how World Wide Web is written, they use HTML to write. Alright, that's to create web pages. That's the language we use to create it. Just a knowledge, or it's a hard fact for a World Wide Web. And to connect, right? You also have to know about the connection of internet. How can we get ourselves connect to the internet? In other words, how can you get IP？ 你怎能夠攞到一啲 IP 嘅咧？我哋有咩方法可以攞到咧？呢啲就係方法啦。You can use cable, that's the slowest. DSL, alright, that's the right now most people use in Hong Kong. Or in company, they use T3, T1, T3, or for country, they use fiber optic to get the IPs, basically. 呢啲就係佢哋唔同嘅方法啦。咁越下咧就越快嘅，通常都咁越上咧就越慢啦。最慢係 cable 啦嘅方法，攞一個 IP 嚇。咁呢個講緊傳遞嘅速度啊，通常講傳輸嘅速度。 好啦，咁呢版又因為佢跳嚟見到係跳嚟跳去咯喎，講講下 Internet 咧，又講翻去 World Wide Web 咯喎。World Wide Web 究竟點樣揾嘢咧？因為大部分 Internet 嗰啲嘢咧都放咗做 World Wide Web 形態，right？A lot of Internet stuff actually in World Wide Web, World Wide Web format. So how World Wide Web is used becomes the key point. World Wide Web is actually seen by navigation tools, that means browser, and you have to use some search engine to search things in it, or you can use subject directory to search something in a range. Alright，咁咧去揾 World Wide Web 入邊嘅嘢咧就係通常成為 Internet 嘅主要活動嚟㗎。咁我哋咧就首先點樣睇 World Wide Web 嘅嘢啦？咁就一定要有嚿嘢幫你睇到嘅，嗰嚿嘢叫瀏覽器啦。你知道叫 navigation tools 嘅裏邊啦，係 navigation tools。所以如果你去 navigation tools，你見到有好多 browser 啦，係咪？跟住咧，但係要揾出呢啲嘢去睇咧，咁我哋咧要揾個搜尋器去幫下手嘅。啊，搜尋器咧，但係要有呢啲字先搜尋到嘅。如果你咧係冇乜頭緒用咩字咧，咁我哋通常咧就會用咩咧？就會用 directory 去幫手，或者叫 subject directory 去幫手嘅。OK，directory 或者 subject directories。咁呢個 directories 咧就係咧其實係咩嚟嘅咧？其實係 search engine 嘅另外一個部分嚟嘅，佢同 search engine 係同一樣嘢嚟嘅，只不過咧佢係將 search engine 搜集咗完嘅結果咧分咗類，跟住攤俾你睇嘅啫。咁當然啦，有啲嘅 subject directories 咧係人做嘅，我哋叫 human power directories。OK，咁即係話你自己集埋一堆覺得好正嘅網頁俾人哋 browse 都有嘅。所以通常啲人咧冇乜頭緒究竟喺 Internet 度揾乜嘅事咧，但係有個領域，譬如我哋今日想睇娛樂嘢，咁可能你會去 subject directory 睇下睇下，睇到某啲嘢覺得係有興趣，你就會揾到個 term 啦，然後就去 search engine 度揾啦。OK，because it's use search term。咁呢版係講咩咧？search engine 係點樣製作㗎？search engine 咧有經歷呢三個過程先製作成功嘅。第一個過程咧就係佢要周圍去刮嘢嘅。Crawling is to go around the world to search for information for search engine. Once the search engines are found something, it actually order them in a way that it would be easy for you to search out. That would be called indexing. So indexing is put something in an order from A to Z, Z to A, things like that. And once this is done, things will actually be categorized, and then you can use a search term to get something you want out of it. And that would be the step 3 here. 呢個三個程序咧係咩嚟嘅咧？就係 search engine 嘅運作啦。一開始 search engine 乜嘢都冇噶嘛，咁咪要揾個軟件出去咧，周圍刮嘢啦。咁刮咗一大堆嘢之後咧，咁都係亂糟糟噶嘛，所以要將嗰啲嘢排好次序，由小至大，譬如 A 至 Z 自己咁排好。咁排好咗之後咧，咁基本上呢個 index 其實就係咩咧？其實就係 directories 嚟㗎啦，基本上。咁跟住咧，你就可以俾個字佢去揾嘢啦。嗰個步驟叫 searching。OK。好啦，咁呢個就係 World Wide Web 嘅使用情況咯喎。咁跟住咧，我哋咧有好多服務啦。We talk about a lot of other activities. The oldest activities is email, and you see that it's used to be client-based. That means you have to install them. Now it's web-based, all right? That's the things you have to know. It's the oldest one. It also have the highest legal status in our society, in most society actually. And then we have discussion forum. A lot of people ask me about what's the difference between discussion groups and discussion group and news group. Now, discussion group and news group basically the same thing here. Just that in the old days, people discuss something specialized, specific. They use discussion group, and when they talk about something general, they use news group. 咁咧討論區咧其實係同一堆嘢嚟嘅，呢度全部都係討論區嚟嘅。咁討論咧喺以前嚟講咧。就係分咗兩類嘅，就係叫做即係新聞討論區啦，同埋專題討論區。專題討論區你都聽到啦，就係即係傾啲好專業嘅嘢，譬如我隻貓病咗喎，咁我點樣救翻佢啊？呢架車壞咗喎，點樣整翻佢啊？咁 discussion group 係用呢啲嘅，所以叫 specific topic。咁你想講啲八卦嘢啊，譬如咧，你講下啲明星啲八卦嘢嗰啲咧，咁啊叫 general 嘢啦。咁我哋咧就會喺 news group 度講嘅，即係呢個係傳統咁做。但係而家啲人都冇分㗎啦。不過咧，佢個服務係咁樣開出嚟嘅。以前先由專題傾偈，跟住咧就去到即係傾八卦嘢。OK，咁啊有 news group。咁所以咧以前呢啲咧都係啲服務嚟嘅，而家開咗啲服務喺度。我想問而家你哋係咪聽唔到我講嘢？我啱睇翻。 唔係喎，我又見到你聽到我講嘢㗎？點解我見到睇到有人 post 咗，我聽唔到？係得啦，算啦，可能佢唔係講緊我啲嘢。anyway，我啱啱望到嗰個 chatbot 嗰度有啲人寫咩聽唔到，唔緊要啦，可能我睇錯咗。anyway，we come back here。咁 instant messaging 咧，what is instant messaging？instant messaging 咧係後期咧發展出嚟嘅 internet 服務嚟嘅，係俾人哋咧同時實時溝通嘅，即係即時傾偈咁樣嘅嘢啦。所以你見到 chat 啦嚇，因為以前咧呢啲傾偈咧就非實時嘅喎，即係你 send 個 email 俾人咧，人哋會遲一秒先覆翻你噶嘛。news group 啊都係人哋 post 咗啲嘢喺度啦，跟住人哋遲一秒先覆翻嚟噶嘛。但係去到 instant messaging 就唔同啦，你同人哋一齊傾偈，一齊講嘢都得，人聽唔聽到一件事，OK？instant messaging is something like that. So it's just the first real-time communication between people, and the privacy concept is also the first time introduced here. 呢個亦都係第一次咧，我哋有一個叫私人傾偈嘅概念咧，放咗入 internet 嘅服務入邊。咁我哋推到呢樣嘢都推得幾多嘅嚇，推到一個地步咧，我哋開始有一啲好特別嘅服務叫 Snapchat 咧，就係你傾完偈之後會自動毀滅嗰個信息嘅，好似 Telegram 咁，令到啲人咧唔可以追蹤你嘅傾偈情況。好啦，實時傾偈咧變咗咧係即係 Internet 服務嘅主角啦，所以而家出咗一啲互聯網電話，其實就希望我哋將傳統嘅電話線搬咗上互聯網度，咁啊整埋一個protocol 或者埋一個協定俾，即係通訊協定俾佢添。呢個就係 Internet telephony 嘅做法。咁呢個互聯網電話咧就係好平啦，好高速啦，你知道。不過咧就聲音很差，quality，alright，call quality is lag 即係好壞啦，即係少咗啲 quality，即係 poor quality 啦。啊，不過好處咧就係佢唔會打唔通電話嘅，總會 B B B 響嘅，即係人哋唔聽一件事嘅啫。OK，呢個互聯網電話咧就有咁嘅好處，同埋就算人哋唔聽電話咧，咁你好容易留到 voicemail 啦嚇。咁同埋你周圍打都係咁嘅錢啊，咁啊係即係有一個即係好平嘅使用情況啦。呢個 internet 電話。好啦，咁跟住 internet 之後咧係咩咧？你應該咧就唔好睇 internet 住喎。其實咧，如果你睇翻成個發展咧，你應該就睇翻 Web Trend 啦，跟住咧就會有 Web Trend 啊。咁我哋跟住咧，其實 Internet 呢度咧就有 Web Trend。Web Trend 咧其實咧係 Internet 嚟喎，佢就發展咗。邊個開咗咪咧？唔該你，就係刪咗嗰個咪佢咧，因為你啲聲音咧錄埋落去，人哋聽到你的嗒嗒，甚至會聽到你背景聲嚇。所以如果你係開咗個咪嘅同學咧，而家請你刪咗佢。OK，我唔得閒搞你住個人。OK，World Wide Web 咧就係我哋要留意嘅發展啦。佢有3個發展階段嘅。You have to know that they have three-way development. One, two and three. Alright，有3個階段。第一代嘅 Web 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 發展就係單向嘅 static information，即係佢發布資訊你就係收嘅啫。情況係咩呢？我成日都用呢個例子嘅嚇，譬如你等緊車，人哋話俾你聽，下一班列車3分鐘之後到達，佢喺熒光幕出咗嚟，你唔使回應佢噶嘛。That's static information，that's Web 1.0，即係佢淨係發 information 啫，佢唔會 expect 你會有任何嘅回應嘅，或者同佢互動嘅。1.0就係咁啊，齋放資料，齋放啲嘢俾你聽。Right? When you go to 2.0, we call this dynamic content. That is interaction. 2.0嘅時間咧就係互動啦，譬如好似 Facebook 就係咁啦，你放啲嘢人哋又回應下你，跟住你覺得好過癮啊，越玩越開心啊，呢啲就係啦。2.0 is something like that。咁玩到一個地步咧，咁你就由本身咧係做工作嘅啫，collaboration 或者 e-collaboration 一齊做工作，搞到最後做咩咧？搞到一齊交友都得噶嘛。OK，因為都係一種互動嚟噶嘛。第三種咧，就係開始咧喺個 web 度注入咗一啲智能啦，即係其實呢個回應翻第一課講我哋個 IT trend is getting smarter and smarter，right？智能性嘅web 咯喎，咁即係點啊？個 web 咧會明白你嘅喎，will understand you，we call it semantic web，and the web will also have intelligent，right？佢會咧就係會有 learning 㗎，會識得學習你嘅興趣。哦，原來你好鬼死中意咧睇啲 sport 嘅，所以掟晒啲 sport 俾你咁樣。OK，something like that。And because of the intelligence, the web can personalize for you, alright? Give you more and more based on your pattern, based on 你嘅 pattern 先去俾啲嘢你啊。OK，所以呢個3.0咧就係即係 web trends 嘅發展啦。你記得啦，呢個 internet 嚟嘅，原來呢個部分。咁我哋好中意比較佢哋啦嚇，所以你留意下啲比較表啦。 咁跟住後面咧有一啲123.0嘅應用個喎，OK 你見到呢啲啊，123.0嘅應用嚟嘅呢啲係呢啲。1.0嘅應用係咩咧？就係、最早嘅應用就係 blogs，就係個人咧睇下做互動得唔得。咁好早期嘅 Web 2.0咧就試咗啦，咁好成功啦，啲人寫 blog 啊嘛。跟住咧就推廣去 company 公司啦，就將嗰啲資訊咧，大家喺同事同同事之間互相傳遞。跟住咧睇下咧就係、譬如今朝早我處理咗個好惡頂嘅客喎，跟住咧我咧就將啲經歷記低咗，跟住其他啲同事睇咗呢個經歷，跟住可以參考呢種做法，跟住處理啲好惡頂嘅客。呢個就係 wiki 嘅做法，is for knowledge transfer，right？So help you to deal with difficult customer. You share your work experience among colleagues. So wiki actually start in company level. Wiki 咧維基其實喺公司層面用㗎，用得好好之後先推出個世界咧，變咗你同我都可以寫啲嘢嚟同大家分享。咁因為人人都寫得嘢啦，咁變咗咧就又可以揞住名，唔知邊個咁啊寫埋一大堆嘢啦。咁變咗咧accuracy 咧就要 check 翻嘅。如果唔係咧就會好危險啦。我哋大家要知道 wiki，如果你淨係齋信晒 wiki 啲嘢咧，都係因為人人都寫得，你唔知究竟佢係咪講緊真嘢定講緊漏料啊咁樣，你要知啦。咁跟住company 咧用 wiki 用得都唔錯嘅。咁跟住啲人咧就將互動呢樣嘢咧帶到去全世界。嚟到交友嘅，咁就出咗 social networking 交友。咁交友其實目的咧係希望咧你透過交友呢件事咧，將你嗰啲即係朋友嘅資訊上咗網，然後就啲交友公司，譬如 Facebook、Twitter 咧，就可以利用你嗰啲資訊咧去做宣傳啊，advertising，and they make a lot of money out of it. Alright, so those are some of the example of social network. Okay. Now, really simple syndication is a way that is a new technology breakthrough that whenever you give out on the internet, they understand you, right? That's XML. 嗱，RSS 呢度咧就話俾你聽，我哋喺成個互聯網嘅技術入邊咧有一個突破性嘅發展就係 XML 啊。XML 係一個突破性嘅發展，so XML，alright, is a breakthrough, alright, in web trends。因為咧，佢可以透過 XML 嘅製作方法咧，你講乜嘢喺個 internet 咧，對方都會知道你噏緊乜嘅。因為佢個方法就係用一個好 flexible 嘅方法咧，等你製造一啲標籤，講緊你自己嘅嘢，跟住人哋一收到之後咧，就會知道嗰個你呢個咧就係你定義緊嘅某啲嘢啦，跟住就即刻明白你。OK，所以呢個咧就幫我哋咧可以組織一啲 news group 嘅資訊啦，alright，同埋咧做後面呢個 podcasting 都得，即係將我哋啲興趣咧集合埋一齊，跟住搜集翻呢一啲我哋有興趣嘅嘢，所以你見到用 XML tag 嘅喎，OK，咁呢個係一個第一代我哋試3.0嘅產品啊。3.0咧就係 podcasting 啦，就係 personal on demand 啊呢度嚇，即係你有咩興趣，然後佢用一個搜集器 aggregator 搜集你嘅興趣，譬如我好中意聽古典音樂嘅，咁咪幫我搜集晒啲古典音樂俾我聽，定期咧透過一個叫同步發聲嘅過程咧，就話俾我知道。咁而家呢個做得好好之後咧，咁我哋咧就推廣到去到連啲影片我好中意嘅，佢都會介紹翻俾我嘅，知道我嘅興趣啦。跟住咧就搜集啲我中意睇嘅片，譬如我好中意打機，跟住咧就將啲 Mario 啊、Pokemon 啊嗰啲咧就集晒俾我睇，咁我就好開心啦，係咪？咁呢個咧就係 Recast 嘅做法，呢個係3.0嚟㗎啦嚇，就即係開始明白我啲嘢啊，跟住將我啲嘢變成一個 pattern 啊，幫我搜集俾我聽，俾我睇。OK，YouTube 就做緊呢件事啦，Dailymotion 都係㗎噃。Netflix 都係啊，podcasting 啊，OK。好啦，跟住咧，最後咧，我哋會講一樣叫 IoT 同埋咧 NIOE 啦，OK。咁呢課咧 Internet 呢個部分咧，應該到呢度就完㗎啦。咁我哋一陣間先翻返去 Internet 嗰度。IoT 咧其實就係將互聯網嘅應用咧更加滲入個生活入邊啊。We are now merging Internet in our daily substance。咁我哋咧將每一個身邊嘅即係物品咧，都同佢加咗一個接收器同埋上網功能啊，令到咧我哋可以遙距控制佢啦。咁初步嘅做法咧就梗係智能家居啦，又或者咧你喺度好遠嘅地方控制下嗰啲好似呢度咁啦，控制下啲倉務嘅情況啊，OK，或者咧過咗隧道之後計錢呢啲嚇，跟住就 IoT 嘅做法。 但係咧要每一件產品跟住擠一個譬如電子嘅接收器同埋咧就係、傳輸咧，咁可能咧都會令到嗰個產品好大隻噶嘛。所以我哋跟住咧就有另外一個階段咧叫 IOE 嘅發展啊，Internet of Everything，就係我哋咧印一啲好似貼紙譬如 QR code 嘅嘢，跟住咧就令佢即刻咧可以update 到上到網啦。如果你有用 WeChat Pay 啊、Alipay 咧就係咁啦。其實咧你可以將嗰、個佢俾你嘅符號咧，譬如好似紋身咁紋咗喺身度，跟住咧你就可以用佢咧，人哋一 scan 咧就會知道係幾多錢啊，扣喺入邊扣錢噶嘛。因為嗰嚿咁樣樣嘅獨特嘅碼咧，就會其實上到網嘅。咁變咗人哋可以喺一般產品入邊咧，都用到咧互聯網連埋一齊嗰、個，即係有上網連結啊，interconnected 嗰個感覺啊。呢、個就係 IOE 嘅情況。嗯。好啦，咁所以咧，你見到啦嚇，Internet is actually talk about history, is talk about background, is talk about the setup, alright, it's talk about the naming, it's talk about how you get the IPs, it's talk about the trend, it's talk about technology, it's talk about the latest application. And there we also concentrate on different services here, and most important of them probably will be the World Wide Web and the telephone, right? Internet telephone, right? Internet. Maybe I should put internet telephone here for, all right, internet internet telephone here for better, all right, presentation. Now that wraps up for the first part, right? That's wraps up for the first part, and then we come back to the second part. Alright, that is internet extranet。咁你見到我咧，我會全部講晒 internet 先嘅喎，因為呢啲咧係基礎嚟嘅。呢度灰色嘅地方嘅基礎咧，就會用喺公司自己嘅網絡入邊，即係呢個唔出街啦，自己用啊。但係佢用啲好勁嘅 internet 嘅嘢俾公司自己用喎。咁如果咁嘅情況之下咧，佢就會得到咩咧？佢哋會得到一個內聯網啦。所以內聯網同互聯網其實冇分別嘅喎，只不過咧佢唔係用到周街都係，佢係只係用喺你間公司入邊嘅啫。Right. So if you use internet just for your company, you are using internet, and that's why we call it the corporate. Sorry, corporate products, right? Where you can use, right? Where you can use um all internet available thing, and you don't have to learn new things, but you will find yourself like working on the internet。咁咧，你用緊內聯網咧，你唔會覺得自己用緊內聯網嘅，因為咧你 internet 做到嘅嘢咧，內聯網做晒，因為佢其實基本上 internet，只不過佢唔出街啫。OK，咁佢唔出街就勁啦，跟住咧佢咧就會好快啦，因為 internet 可以服務幾億人噶嘛，你間公司咪最多幾萬人，係咪已經好大間公司咯喎？係咪啊？咁跟住咁佢所以一定可以滿足你公司所有嘅通訊需要啦。And we always need you to compare internet intranet。我哋成日都要你 compare 啦，internet intranet 嘅分別啦。所以如果你唔明白 internet 咧，冇得 compare 啦。That's why 咧你要留意下呢個表啊。咁你知道啦，internet 周街派噶嘛，所以 everyone 啦。但係 internet 就唔係啦，淨係公司嘅人先用。internet 咧就全個世界所以 unlimited 嘅 connection。internet 咧你可以選擇咧就係喺個 building 啦，或者周街去都得。速度嚟講，你都會諗到啦。internet 成幾億人用噶嘛，咁啊梗係慢啲啦。但係 internet 得嗰幾萬人最多，或者幾千人間公司，梗係快好多啦。咁保安都會肯定啦，internet 因為已經好慢啦。如果你再搞好多保安，佢咪會更加慢咯。所以佢會少啲保安嘅。而 internet 因為你間公司你驚啲嘢會流出街噶嘛，所以你一定會大保安。但係呢啲大保安雖然會令到佢慢咗，但係因為你得幾千人或者幾萬人用嘅啫，所以你仍然覺得好快嘅喎。啊，所以呢個咧就係 internet 嘅分別嚇，記住呢啲啦嚇，呢啲成日都會問嘅。咁 extranet 係乜東東嚟㗎啦？如果兩間公司咧，兩個 intranet 咧即係想手拖手一齊啦，跟住咧就可能一個咧係供應商，一個係使用者。譬如你係生產一啲衣服嘅，人哋咧就係生產一啲棉花嘅，咁人哋俾啲棉花你做衣服嘅，咁你哋咧就兩間公司都用 intranet 黐埋一齊喎，咁你就有個外互聯網 extranet 啦。So they are partners, they are business partner to one another，即係佢哋好朋友嚟嘅，可能好朋友一陣啦。OK，咁跟住咧，佢哋聯網嘅意思咧係因為想令到個溝通快啲好啲人。咁佢哋聯咗網嗰種系統咧就叫 iOS 啦，嗱叫 Inter-Organization System。咁佢聯網做乜事個呢？咁通常兩間公司因為佢有一個叫供應同埋使用嘅關係啦，咁佢梗係要話俾對方知究竟我要幾多量嘅某一樣嘢，同埋俾錢啊，所以我哋就會有 EDI。 同埋 EFT 嘅概念啦。EDI is actually to settle the invoice. You have to specify how many or how much how many of something that you want。你話俾人哋聽咧，某一樣嘅原材料嚇，你需要幾多嚇？用 EDI 話俾人聽，即係話個訂單俾人知。跟住咧，EFT is to how people charge you。咁人哋點樣俾錢你咧？你或者你點樣俾錢人咧？係用緊 PayPal 啊，用緊 Visa System 啊，定係用緊 FDS 啊，定係用緊好多唔同嘅而家嗰啲電子產品去俾錢咧？Right. Now, when two internet join together, more often than not, you will be quite fear about the other company stealing information from you, and that's why you set an area called DMSet to extra monitor them so that you can have more security when two companies joins together。如果兩間內聯網公司裝埋一齊咧，咁你都驚人兩間公司咧刮你啲料，話賣俾其他人噶嘛，咁你就會咧整一個叫 DMSet 非軍事區咧嚟到即係重點再監察人哋嘅活動啦。咁希望人哋如果做咗啲即係有損你公司嘅嘢嘅時候，你可以告佢阻止佢咧，即係做一啲傷害你公司嘅活動啦嚇。Extranet server 就係咁啊，即係會擠喺個非軍事區入邊。嗯。OK，咁呢度咧亦都咧，我哋好中意咧，就係將咧互聯網啦、內聯網同埋外互聯網三個比較嘅，所以你要留意啦嚇。嗱，記住啦，即係當然好沉氣都會講嘅嚇。互聯網就係周街係嘅，所以叫 public 咯喎。但係內聯網或者外互聯咧，都係 private 嘅，只不過 private 嘅程度唔同啫。呢個嘅 private 係點咧？就係如果內聯咧，就係自己間公司嘅 member，即係你係公司員工先用嘅啫。Extranet 咧就係你間公司嘅員工同埋你同你間公司 friend 嗰間公司啦，譬如係可能係間原材料公司啦，咁大家用咯。咁互聯網就肯定同佢哋唔同性質啦，係周街都係啊，周街嘅人都用得噶啦。OK，好，咁咧呢個咧基本上咧就係第二課嗰個結構啦嚇。咁你可以根據呢個結構咧，然後咧就再將嗰啲細節咧喺讀書嗰陣時咧就 map 翻入去。咁變咗咧，你有一個咧，即係初步嘅結構喺度，自己再好似棵樹咁畫開去咧，咁你就會記得好啲啦。OK，alright，so that's basically all we have today. And next time we'll continue from here, and then we'll talk about chapter 8. Alright, chapter 8. Chapter 8. Now, the last thing I would like to advise you is about how you would approach the notes. Instead of reciting the notes, I would always recommend you to read through them, all right, several times to get yourself a better impression, so that when you have to fill in, all right, or get a pattern of something out of the notes, it would be quicker and faster for you. 咁咧，我咧就成日都會即係建議你啦。如果你要讀我哋呢啲 notes 咧，因為我哋係 open book 嘅，所以咧你咧就最好咧就係唔好一開始諗住背咗啲乜嘢去。我會建議你反而咧就係用一個咧就係讀幾次嘅方法，令到你有多啲印象。OK，咁你咧就會人哋問起嗰啲嘢嗰陣時，你大約知道咩位就揾嘢就會快啲，咁就可以達到譬如我哋啲 MC 啊或者啲填充嘅要求咯。OK，所以咧呢個咧就希望你會用啦，同埋你可以善用下我哋嘅 PDF 入邊個 search 嘅功能啦，we have research find 嘅功能啦，find。咁譬如人哋問緊嗰樣嘢，你可以用 find 啦。譬如佢可能問緊right，OK，maybe they ask us about the internet，咁你咪喺度打 internet，咁咪即刻可以即係彈咗去嗰度，跟住你睇下佢問嗰樣嘢係咪喺嗰度，跟住咪抄下嗰啲生字啊，係咪講緊嗰樣嘢，跟住咪填翻好去咯。咁你加埋呢個技巧咧，變咗咧，你可以喺處理我哋嗰個 test 嗰陣時就會快啲啦。OK，so remember to download the notes right before the test onto your own computer。所以記得咧就將我哋啲筆記咧就放好咗喺自己部機先，就唔使再 download 嘅。咁變咗到時咧就一開始嗰陣時咧就可以開定啲 notes，好似而家我呢度咁啦，開定譬如第一課啊，第七課啊咁樣，你就可以咧，即係佢講到你記得大約喺邊一課嗰陣時，你就喺嗰度揾啦，跟住再加埋你有讀過幾次嘅即係記憶咧，咁就個 test 咧就會應該比較順利可以處理得到啦。